friends, and somehow you've stumbled into the bowels of the internet, and there's this kind of pipes that run down, and at the very bottom of those pipes is the Vegematic channel. So welcome and thank you for making your way down here. Well, I've been angry. Why? Because there's nothing but assholes everywhere. Everywhere I look. Up, down, sideways, it doesn't matter. Assholes are everywhere. Looks like more disasters just keep adding up, don't they? They're just floating around the earth and they're waiting to get you and me and everybody else. But we gotta keep burning those fossil fuels, the coal, the gas. We gotta do it because otherwise the economy grinds to a halt. And you know what happens if the economy grinds to a halt? Well, all of a sudden, butterflies will escape from their confines, floating across the night sky or daytime sky or whatever kind of sky it is, and the world becomes a beautiful place again. If only people could learn how to stop killing each other, beating each other up, hitting each other on the head with a sledgehammer, shooting them and doing all, and not just each other. They go out and do it as a sport to animals too. Yes, killing is the international sport. That's what humans tend to do, is kill each other, be mean, nasty, do creepy things, steal, all that stuff. And why? Because most humans are assholes. Oh, and this Florida underwater. Of course it's underwater. We've known it's going to be underwater. It's sinking down into the ground, into the ocean. It's all going to break up in a million pieces, and nobody cares because the immigrants are here. So we got to send them up north. Well, you did them a big favor because now they're not going to be sinking with the rest of Florida. Oh, and you don't care if it's across the world, if it's half of Pakistan. But America? Oh my God, no. We're too good for that. We're too good for climate change. It's not going to happen here. It really isn't. It doesn't exist. It only exists in the liberals' minds. You know, and it exists in those stupid universities and things like that. Well, we don't need no learned crap like that. And you know what poetic justice would be? Poetic justice would be if these areas that denied asylum to people who need it, refugees, what would happen if all of a sudden we needed to go to those countries as refugees? And they'd say, you didn't let us in. You locked us in cages. You separated kids from their parents. You did all this shit. And now you want our help? Oh, here we go. Here's a good news item that sums everything up. Nigerian officials have seized thousands of donkey penises about to be exported to Hong Kong. Sacks of the penises, or would that be peni? I'm not sure if that's the proper plural pronunciation of penises or peni. I've never gotten that far. I'm like Herschel Walker, you know, I'm not that smart. Sacks of the penises were seized by customs officials, falsely labeled as cow male penises. I guess bull penises or peni. 16 sacks were seized. So that sounds like a country song, doesn't it? 16 sacks of donkey penises. So don't tell me it's true that Margarine Trailer Queen is getting a divorce. Oh my, I'm so horrified. What about all those family values, Margarine? Marge. Yes, slimy. Okay, aside from my slime fetish, I'll keep going on about the intellectual wing of the Republican Party, which consists of Herschel Walker, Lauren Boebert, And yeah, Margarine Trailer Queen. By the way, Margarine Trailer Queen was coined by a friend of mine and a longtime subscriber, and he used to be called Joey Bag of Donuts, and then he changed it to Joey Box of Rocks, but I always wanted him to change it back to Bag o' Donuts. But, you know, I can't control the creative input of other individuals. I just do my own thing. What about Judge Cannon? I guess she's doing another ruling. Oh, all the lawyers get together and laugh when they read her rulings, you know. I could eat a bowl of alphabet soup and shit out a better ruling than this crazed, corrupt judge can. But it's amusing. So over in Italy, they've elected a fascist government, and they're not really fascists, they're just kind of nice right-wing people, family values type. Yeah, right, family values, that's the thing. Well, what kind of family? Well, you've got to be the right kind of family. You can't come here on a boat floating in, starving, half drowned, and say, I'm an Italian. You can't do that. It's just like you can't come from El Salvador or Nicaragua or some other Central American hellhole and get into America. No. If you could jump over and come to Canada, we might be able to help you, but there's a lot of paperwork involved. It's just, we're better humans than you are, so we created all this mess, all this pollution and carbon and shit that we ended up spewing into the atmosphere for the last 100 years. It's your fault. So you stay out of our countries because we want to keep burning those fossil fuels. We want to keep the engine of democracy running. And look what's happening in Britain. Liz Truss has taken over from Boris, the weird guy with the yellow hair that kind of screwed up the entire country. Well, they are pissed because everything is costing them more and more and more and more. And of course, Liz Truss of the Conservative Party, the Tories, which I always say it's just like the Canadian Tories. The only good Tory is a suppository. And you can take that to the bank. Anyway, so mail's going on strike. Good on you. The rail's going on strike. Shut the damn country down, because we don't need no trickle-down economics. We don't need the rich pissing on us and telling us it's raining any longer. No, we've had enough. So salute to my British brothers and sisters, and keep up the good fight, because otherwise we're going to get screwed. Well, we're going to get screwed anyway, but you got to fight back and at least make an effort, right? At least make an effort. I've smoked all my shit and I've drunk all my beer, and I guess that's all I have for you until next week. But do me a favor. Subscribe. You haven't subscribed. Hit that damn thing. Yeah, hit Pavlov's bell too, and maybe they'll let you see me next week. So anyway, I'd like to say hello to Sandy over at Environmental Coffee House. Hello, darling, I love you desperately. Hambone, well, I love you almost a little bit. And T-Bone, I hope you survived the hurricane, and go over to T-Bone's Side of Life channel. And Brian, I hope you're surviving living in New Jersey and all the. Don't get depressed, man. It's just it's all gonna go to shit anyway, right? I mean, and you get to our age, Brian, and you think, well, there's not that much left anyway. So, but one of the beautiful things about getting old is not giving a shit anymore. So I would advise every young person watching this, all one or two of them, that really don't give a shit what anybody thinks, because when you're old, you'll go, why did I give a shit about that person? Why did I care about that? Well, what was I thinking? So you see, with age comes a certain amount of wisdom, the wisdom to not give a shit anymore. This is Veg signing off, and hoping that you survive another week. You might want to build an ark if you're down in Florida. Hambone, you might want to actually endure some winter weather. Now, I know you're frightened of this. I know it's terrifying to you. But really, winter can be beautiful when you're buried in 6 feet of snow and your fingers are freezing and there's icicles hanging off your nose. What's wrong with you, man? Okay, I'll see you next week, guys. Peace. And I do mean peace, love, joy, all those things that humans have forgotten about. Good night.